On February 15, 2014, a man living in Kyoto decided to hire a termite extermination service for his home. The job seemed routine until the workers made a discovery that would haunt the entire neighborhood. Under the wooden floorboards of the house, they found something wrapped in blue plastic tarps. When they looked closer, they realized what they were seeing. The remains of two women placed side by side, hidden just beneath where people have been living for years. The police were called immediately. Investigators carefully removed the remains. The bodies had been there for a long time, so long that only bones and fragments were left. One of the women was eventually identified, but the other remains a mystery to this day. She became known as the Kyoto Jane Doe. If you don't know what Jane Does mean, it's a placeholder name used for a woman whose real identity is unknown or being kept secret. Forensic experts estimated she was between 30 to 40 years old. Around 145 centimeters tall, her hair had been dyed brown, she wore pajamas, a necklace, and a few rubber bands on her wrist, but there was nothing else to tell who she was. No ID, no records of her ever existing. Investigators believe she may have died sometime around 2003, more than 10 years before she was found. But what's even stranger is what happened in the same house years earlier. Back in 2006, the police had already found 3 bodies there, 2 women and 1 man, in what was believed to be a suicide case. It is suspected that the man who was the previous homeowner met the 2 women, but now with 2 additional bodies under the floor, the question is impossible to ignore. Was this really a coincidence? Or was there something much darker going on inside this house? Further investigations reveal the potential connection between the group suicide in 2006 and the bodies discovered in 2014. The owner who discovered the bodies in 2014 claimed he had no idea anything like that was beneath his floor. He had bought the house years after the supposed suicide. Yet, for more than a decade, these 2 women lay hidden just below where families walked, ate, and slept, invisible to everyone. The other woman found was identified as a part-time worker from Nara Prefecture. She was in her early 20s and had gone missing around 2003. Police found no clear cause of death. According to the investigations, the woman went missing in February 2003, stating that she was going to a friend's house and never returned home. Today, more than a decade later, the Kyoto Jane Doe remains unnamed. No family has come forward. She was buried anonymously, a ghost of Kyoto's past. On December 6, 1968, a strange threat reached the manager of Japan Trust Bank. A messenger warned that the bank would be blown up unless the manager handed over 3 million yen to an employee who was supposed to deposit at a specific location. The bank refused to give in. Instead, the Fuchu police dispatched 50 officers to search the area and protect the staff. 4 days later, on the morning of December 10, 1968, 4 employees of the bank were transporting 294 million yen, the equivalent of more than 800,000 US dollars at the time. The car they were using was a Nissan Cedric. As the car neared Tokyo's Fuchu prison, a young man dressed as a motorcycle police officer suddenly blocked their path. He approached the employees and said that their branch manager's house just got destroyed by an explosion and that there might be a bomb planted in the car. Frightened and remembering the recent threat, the employees stepped aside as the officer crouched to inspect the car. Moments later, he lit a road flare and shouted that the car was about to explode, and the workers ran for their lives. Meanwhile, the officer climbed into the car and drove away with all the money. A massive investigation followed. The police interviewed thousands of witnesses and even released a composite sketch to the public. They searched every nearby apartment, interrogating college students one by one, but no convincing suspect ever emerged. Over the next 7 years, the suspect list grew to more than 100,000 people. And one of the earliest suspects was a young man known only as Boy S, a local gang member familiar with the area. His father was a motorcycle police officer, and his methods matched the style of the heist. When the police came to question him, S took by ingesting cyanide, leaving his possible role in the crime forever unknown. Later, in 1969, a person known only as A was wrongly accused after the media claimed he resembled a composite sketch. The police then arrested A. By the next day, someone offered a strong alibi for A that proved that he was definitely not the culprit. Yo, I just wanted to say that I saw a lot of articles about this crime, about this case, and in one of them says that in 2018, one anonymous writer posted a story where he's saying that he was the one, that committed the crime. In this post, he's calling himself Shiroda, and he claims that he planned the heist with a man named S, but both of them were in love with the same woman named Kyoko. And this man named S, he stepped back, and then Shiroda and Kyoko carried out the crime together. But the post didn't reveal any inside details, so it's probably just someone trying to get attention. To this day, the identity of the man who stole 300 million yen without violence, without leaving a trace, remains one of Japan's greatest unsolved mysteries. On the morning of February 14, 2011, a teenage boy was fishing at Senjoji Lake near the Aono Dam in Sanda. While walking along the shore, he noticed a concrete block lying on the ground. It was about the size of a backpack. When he looked closer, he saw something shocking: human bones sticking out of the block. He immediately called for help. The police arrived and found the block along with the part of the man's left ankle and neck bones under the nearby Kurogo Bridge. The lake had been in a drought since 2002, which had lowered the water level and exposed the parts of an old road at the bottom. Because the block was found near the bridge, the investigators believe it might have been thrown from there. The man's torso was never found, but police did discover strands of hair inside the concrete. In November 2011, the police made a clay model of the man's face to help identify him. Many people called, saying that the face looked familiar, but none of the tips led anywhere. 10 years later, in 2021, police handed out flyers around the area and brought in more detectives to work on the case. Even though the statute of limitations for abandoning a body expired in 2014, investigators are still trying to learn who the man was and how he died. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This is the first type of video that I do in this format. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. You know, I'm definitely down to make more videos like this, and also give me suggestions too. All right, I would love that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out.